Hello guys, Mass back again here. I think I got something on my camera here. 1 second. Okay, that's better. Hope y'all are doing well. I just got back from roller skating. That's one of the hobbies I get out and do because they say depression you can cure it by getting some hobbies and getting outside and meeting people. Nah. But it is nice to get out and just get that sense of I don't know, self accomplishment, like that sense of accomplishment from doing something cool. Cause I've gotten really good at skating. Maybe one day I'll put like some clips or something so y'all can see. I'm actually pretty good, and I'm like my worst critic. I'm very depressed. I'm very self conscious. I have low self esteem, all that good stuff. I'm pretty good at skating. I can't lie. But yeah, with that being said, when I was leaving the skating rink just now, there's this come down, when I'm doing stuff like that makes me realize, like, there's not too much in this world currently that makes me feel how I used to feel every day when I was younger. And I know, and this is, the main point of the video. Peaking. Looking back into the past and realizing that, man, did I peak? I know a lot of people think about that and they're like, you don't even want to consider that because then, that's kind of sad. That means things will only get worse from here or they'll stay the same. They're never going to get as good as they were when, that one time. I know a lot of people at school, and nobody wants to be the guy that peaked in high school, but I got into a conversation with an old friend who randomly called me middle of the day, and he was just going down this rabbit hole of reminiscing. And I haven't smiled and laughed. And mind you, I go back to like 7th, 8th grade with this friend. Like 6th, 7th grade. Well, no, I met him in 7th grade. Yeah. No. I met him in like 5th grade, actually, because I met him at like this pool that we used to go to in the neighborhood. So yeah, actually, I knew him since like 5th grade. That is insane. I've known him almost 20 years. That is scary. I am getting old if I can say I've known certain people for 20 years. But anyway, he just went into this tangent of reminiscing, and we ended up talking for 2 hours. I don't even talk with girls for 2 hours. It was amazing. Man, and I haven't laughed and smiled like I did during that call. Somebody probably thought I was flirting with somebody. And I was just genuinely walking down the street on my way to work, screaming, laughing so hard, just staring up, because he was bringing back memories that I completely forgot about. Like, just memories only he would know, because I currently got so much going on in life that it might be hard for me to remember these things. So it was a really, really great phone call, and it lasted like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Like I said, it was great, but I think it's had like a lasting effect, because now I'm looking at my life now. And I know you're not supposed to do this, the comparison is the thief of joy, la la la. The things that made that time so good, I don't even think can be replicated. I think we, as a friend group and as people, hadn't gone through certain things that have killed things like trust, things like the ability to be infatuated with somebody 100%. Even back then we were, a lot of our fun times had to do with experimentation with, some substances, some experimentation. We had some fun times with that. A lot of us, we wouldn't be putting our lives at risk like that anymore. I no longer drank, so I can't even get into that, like that level of fun. Just all these things. And who needs substances to have fun? But when you're a kid, certain dumb stuff you do turn out to be like the greatest times. It's terrible, stupid stuff, but it's the greatest times, and you do it Under the influence, it's even better. You'll never do it again, but at least tonight, this is the greatest. The parties we had, just bad decision making, wasting money. It was some of the best times, man. And just talking to him about it really just has had like this sticky effect over the past couple days, and it's kind of made me like hate life even more. And when I do get happy, one of my first thoughts, like leaving the skating rink tonight after having a pretty good time. None of the people that I know were there. I seen some like familiar faces from other skate rinks around the city, but none of the people who I would actually sit and spend some time with were there. So I was primarily just skating by myself, vibing, talking to people here and there, complimenting, getting complimented, whatever. If I'm having a good time doing something somewhere, these last couple of days, it's like the good times I had back at my peak just come swooping in. And it's like, yeah, and it just comes in with this message of, yeah, you're having fun now, true, but is this like that one time in 2016 when you this, that, and the third? Yeah, you're talking to this girl now, and she seems nice, but is she like that one girl from 2014? That blah, 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 like, you know? And I know you're not supposed to think like that, but us as being humans, I think we a lot of people who are tapped in are starting to recognize that, man, our best times behind us. For some of us, yeah, and maybe even as a race and as a generation, 100%, but as a race, maybe. I mean, we've never been more advanced than we are now, as far as, comfort and convenience and just accessibility to things we need and want for a lot of us. But at the same time, overall, that's done something negative in a way. Or maybe people are just ungrateful or something, however you want to look at it. But I think statistically and just vibe-wise, maybe as a race, our best times are behind us too. And I know a lot of people don't want to, say that, because then it, like I said, it makes going forward kind of feel worrisome, because it's like, okay, is my best behind me? Have I lived already? I'm not even 30 yet. I have some time to go. And it's amazing how many people, and 30 isn't even old, 35 isn't even old, 40 isn't even old, but there's so many people in these age ranges. There's so many people 16 already saying like it's over. Like it's over. And some of that might be, just them being dramatic or, trying to get some clicks or whatever. But some people really feel that way. Some people, you look at stuff through their perspective, it's over. You can't really argue with them through their perspective. It's like, dang, is it over? I know I think about that from my perspective, because, back then, man, and I think I mentioned this in another video, like, I was just so cool back then. And I think the thing that made being like a kid, it made it easy to have a good times and stuff, is because the bar to guilt-free fun, the barrier of entry for having fun without feeling bad or guilty or worried was much lower. And to some extent it was stupid, because, we should have been worried about some stuff. It's stuff I can go back that I wish I would have monetized and, threw some parties, made some money. I had like a little group around me. We could have done stuff. We had people who cared, who wanted to hang out with us a lot. I could have monetized that, but that would have killed some of the fun. See, that's the trade-off. But the barrier to guilt-free fun and feelings of enjoyment were lower. You just got the guys together. As long as y'all had a couple dollars, oh yeah, good night. Boom. You have a basic night. It's great. You get drunk, do this, do that. Maybe get a girl, call a girl or whatever, and go after hanging out with the guys. You go over there. That's a perfect day. That's a perfect day, and the way it logs into your memory is like, oh man, that was a perfect day. That was a perfect time. Now that we're older and we've experienced certain things, we've gone through certain things with women and friends and backstabbing and lies and deceit and stealing and us screwing ourselves over and in I don't know, pregnancy scares and all this different type of stuff. If we have that same kind of day, and the jobs and stuff, if we have that same kind of day, there's so many, the barrier to get to a point where you feel like this is the best day ever, is so much higher. The wall is so much higher because so much stuff has to be accounted for now. Back then, we just needed a couple dollars a piece. Maybe you have 5, you have 6, you have 7, and a phone charger. We can all share. We're gonna have a great day. We'll figure it out. And most times we did. Now, okay, I gotta make sure my what time are we gonna do this? Because I gotta work tomorrow in the morning. Like, I can't be out too late. Can I bring my baby? Can I bring this? Can I do that? I don't do that substance anymore, so they have to have this specific substance or I'm gonna be sober. And being sober is fine, but I'm not gonna be super lively if I am sober, so it almost feels like, why go? If certain people are there, this person backstabbed me, so I'm not gonna really be able to have a good time with this person around. Or okay, girls are gonna be there. What kind of girls? Because girls are, they can ruin a good time. The certain types of girls will be weird. I don't really know them. I don't trust them. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who they know. What if they invite people? You have to account for so much, how much money. I'm cutting into my spending money for the month. I'm gonna have to get less groceries when I go. You see this, if you're being responsible, these are all the things that you have to consider before just going out with the guys. You can't just wing it anymore. And that's why I say the barrier to guilt-free fun is so much higher. But back then, we wouldn't feel guilty and worried and scared doing the stuff we do. We barely knew these girls. Who cares? They seem cool. Let's hit them up, see what's going on. Figure it out. They come, they did it, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of life I was living. Just winging it, waking up every day and just didn't care what happened. I'm broke. I'm still in belief that I can have a good day. And some of it might be attitude, sure. But I do have a lot of responsibilities now. When I'm thinking about life now, I'm thinking about it for the month. I'm thinking about it day by day, yeah, but I'm plotting long term for the month. Because I got appointments, I got doctors, I got this, I got calls. I'm in the program. I got responsibilities with that. I got meetings. I got work, a lot of work. I got, like I said, I'm talking to this girl. I got stuff that needs attention, and I got to schedule in my relaxation time, because if I don't do it, I know I'll burn myself out even quicker. So I got this schedule going on that cannot really be, I don't really want to mess it up. So, but back then, I just woke up, asked my mom for $5, left the house. No phone charger, anything that could fit in my pockets. At a certain point, I started wearing a book bag, and I still do that to this day. Just putting stuff in it. Whatever snacks I could bring, just some cookies or little, packs of noodles. I always used to carry a pack of instant ramen noodles with me. That's what I'm eating now, funny enough. I used to carry just packs of noodles with me, my headphones, put it all in the bag, charger, because I never knew where I'd end up. I literally go to my friend's house. He used to live a mile away down the road. I'd walk over there. Who cares? Who needs a bus? I don't want to waste any money. Walk over there, and then the day would start there, and somehow, some way, the day ends at some party clear across the city, pretty much in another city. We got more money than we started the day with somehow. People were trying to hang out. We spending the night. It's a whole thing. We done met up with some other friends. And I know a lot of people relate to this. Like, when we were younger in those carefree times, it was really easy to have, like, just blissful fun. Just pure, turn your brain off fun. Because the risk was way lower. If you turn your brain off and just let Jesus take the wheel as far as the fun, what can you mess up? You don't have any responsibilities. All you have to worry about is getting home by a certain time to not get, a spanking or something. That was kind of it. That's all the responsibilities you had. Now it's so easy to, if I go out and I stay out past 11, my brain already starts to, it's already starting to paint the night as kind of, It's already starting to paint it kind of bad because it's like, now I know I'm going to be tired tomorrow. This was a mistake. And I'm not off tomorrow. Why did I do this? It's getting saved into my brain through that filter. And just by nature of having to schedule it, also saves it through that filter. It's like, yay, scheduled fun. What's better than that? You see? So I sat in the car for a while listening to certain songs that really make me reminisce hard. And I know you can't be stuck in the past, but I find myself stuck in the past a lot. Because, like, stuff right now is so messed up. Like, all the things that I used to do back then that made life great, just everything. The way dating was, the way friendships was, the way, heck, my relationship with my family and the people that, that were still alive, that aren't alive now. The relationships that hadn't been ruined. The just carefree attitude I had. The trauma that I hadn't faced yet. That kind of mellowed me down and made me more like hyper vigilant of my body and my health, near-death experiences due to substances and stuff, but also like just my surroundings, being almost killed, it'll make you hyper vigilant there as well. Those times, man, things are just so messed up now. Personally and, obviously, as far as, generally, things are just so messed up. I wish things weren't so messed up, man. It's so easy to be nostalgic. And it's so easy to come to the conclusion, like, yeah, I might have peaked in whatever grade. Because how do I get back to that? How do I see myself getting back to that? Because I've thought about it, even if I was to get rich, I'm still going to feel... I always say this too, by the way. If I got rich back then with the way I was living, I would probably be... I probably wouldn't be here. The stuff I was involved in, if I got a lot of money to do it consistently, I probably wouldn't be here by now. So I'm not saying, I had it all made back then. Thank God I was broke in certain instances because I put myself in some terrible situations with the little bit of money I had. If I had more money, I would have did it more often, and who knows. So I, thank God for that. But if I got rich now, with the stuff I've been through, I wouldn't have enough fun with it. And, maybe that's my fault. I can go out, I can do things. It just wouldn't feel the same. It's certain people who we've gone through certain things in life. There's certain best friends I had that made life fun. They don't want anything to do with me, or I don't want anything to do with them. And even if they were back around, they're not the same that they were, where it made it so fun. So I wouldn't even, we'd just be like at a nice restaurant somewhere, just like hanging out, like, yeah, this is dope. This is nice. We always wanted to do this. And we'd just be sitting there like, yeah. Maybe, younger us would have, we would have made that, we would have made every single day. We already made every single day a movie with $3, $5, $6, $7, $8. We would have made life a very short but amazing film. So maybe we did peak, Maybe we did peak. And I guess, maybe the stigma that is associated with that, and saying that, and realizing that about your life, it needs to be done away with. Because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, I'm not saying it about myself, I haven't peaked, I'm just loading up, I'm just charging up. Really? Didn't you just get fired? What are you loading up to? And that's not to say anything can't happen. Let me not say that. I apologize. Setbacks to a major comebacks do happen all day long. That's possible, and I wish the best for anybody in that situation. But I'm saying life has a weird way currently of just not allowing unchecked progress towards one's goals in this world, especially for men. And you could say women too, because the thing about women is, like, they're not necessarily getting what they really deep down want. They're not necessarily getting what they really deep down want. They're just happily deluding themselves and being a part of a community that have all successfully deluded themselves and are gaining the validation from being a part of this community. They'll realize later on, as all of them do once they hit the wall, wait, what did J. Cole say? Good news is I came a long way. The bad news is that I went the wrong way. So that'll happen. But especially for men, flat out, we just don't get allowed to, like, have unchecked, without sacrifice, without great sacrifice, we don't get to just, live it up currently. Even if you're rich, because when you're rich, everybody's coming for your money. So, what did Dr. Dre say? Anybody can get it. The hard part is keeping it. The games have just begun once you get rich, I hear. The games have just begun. And we all know that if you become, say for somebody that might want to be a celebrity or something, or a big streamer or something, if you stay just like a small streamer, people will always just sing your praises and, like, oh, he's coming up, positivity. But if you are to make it to the heights of streaming, or heights of music, or heights of whatever, and then you come back down to being a regular small creator or whatever, now you're a loser. Now it's what happened to him. That's the commentary surrounding your name. I'm getting kind of off on a tangent here, but I'm just saying, men today, we don't get it. We don't get to not be severely maimed in our climb towards, living and feeling how we used to feel during our peaks. We don't get to feel that way without great sacrifice. We don't. We don't. And we don't. You gotta get really drunk. You gotta do something. And I know there's gonna be the outliers. People are just like, I wake up every day happy. This is the best of my life. I understand. That's why let me make a disclaimer. I'm not speaking for everybody. But I know a lot of people who are working hard, and they just cannot recreate, not those specific times, but they can't recreate that happiness, that feeling of bliss. We've seen too much, we know too much, we have worries and responsibilities that will just put a weight on us as far as being able to ascend to that level of happiness. So maybe we peaked. Maybe, I believe I peaked. It's not over yet. Anything is possible. I might look back at this video soon and be like, nah, this is peak. But I don't know what it will do. I've had great women. I can get, it's just, it's the same reason people say gaming is dead. It's because that, nostalgia killed gaming. It's true, but it's not, like, it's not no merit to it. It has a lot to do with just this perfect concoction of what was going on at that time. So that's why you can play those old games and don't feel the same. I can go do what I was doing. I have way more money now, just on me at all times. The biggest issue was that I was broke back then. I can go do whatever, all the stuff that made that time super fun. I can go do that all day. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's just a perfect, like a perfect equation of things that made that time magical. And some of those things aren't allowed to be involved anymore, don't want to be involved. Some of those people, some of those things. some people ain't with us no more. Some people passed, so you'll never be able to recreate it, man. Not the way it was. And so yeah, in summation, I know this video was kind of all over the place. I'm literally in the emotion right now because I just got out the car, and that's why I'm still eating and stuff. But yeah, in summation, I just feel like it's okay. It's okay to admit that so far, at least, let me put it that way. So far, some of us, it's okay to say, we peaked. Peaked in high school, peaked in middle school, peaked that one summer, that was a peak, peaked last year, and we'll never get, It just sucks that things don't look like they're gearing up to present a lot of people's peaks. At least in that sense of the word, where your whole life is the best it's ever been. I don't think this country and the stuff that's going on is pushing, especially men, any of us towards any specific peaks of anything. I think, in one way or another, a lot of people's best years are definitely behind them. That doesn't mean stop trying. It doesn't mean stop trying to create another peak. I think that's why a lot of us get up, create, what we create, sacrifice, endure what we endure, strap on our boots, and get out there after it every day when we really don't want to, because we wanna feel good. We want to make our family and the people we're responsible for feel good. It's what we're wired to do. Like, I feel good. I don't need much. Being an adult has taught me that I don't need much at all to feel as good as I can feel. I don't need much. I get the biggest kick out of helping other people that I care about feel good. They still have the propensity to feel so happy that they still, feel that way. I don't know if I can do that. Like, just blissfully lose my mind without any caveats, without any asterisk in my mind about whatever is making me happy. But seemingly they can't. My little brothers and stuff like that, mom, dad, I get most of my happiness through making them feel good. So that's what I'm working on. And some, little stuff in my life. I just want to be able to maintain for me, and as for everybody else, I want them to thrive. And maybe my future children, same thing. For future wife, whatever, all that. Yeah, I want to do it for them, and that could create a peak of its own. And that's why I'm currently doing what I'm doing. So I'm not making this video to say it's over. I'm just saying that for some of us, so far, our peak is definitely in the past. And that's a hard truth, because what could be right now, if corporate greed and AI running unchecked and all this stuff, just crazy politics and stuff, it doesn't have to be this way. Human civilization could be across the board at a certain kind of a peak that I don't even think that we can fathom. If certain things didn't go just unchecked, I'm not gonna say what they are because I don't want to make this. If certain things didn't go unchecked like they have, human civilization as a whole could be so amazing. Could be so amazing. There would still be problems, but it wouldn't be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be the way it is for anybody. A lot of programming has went into making things the way they are. A lot of unchecked things have gone into making things the way they are. If they didn't get like this, we could be experiencing a certain kind of a peak that even our personal peaks wouldn't even be able to hold a candle to. And here's hoping that some radical weird change happens where we move in a direction that creates that. If not in our lifetime, definitely our children's, so they get to see what humankind really can do. Like, it's on a positive level, because we've seen war, we've seen disease, we've seen all types of stuff as far as like what humans can do negatively. I would love to be able to see what we could do if we really just positivity max, just went full force. Our best minds and our best leaders just go full force at trying to make everybody in the world as happy as possible. Maybe that could backfire, maybe not. But I don't know. I'm kind of going off on a tangent, and I really don't want to get political or anything. So I will say, sorry this video wasn't super structured. I hope y'all got, my main point, just about, acknowledging that, it might have peaked and blah, blah, blah. But if y'all like this video, definitely like, comment, subscribe. This was definitely just a video where it's just like, I don't know, talking to you like homies. I got more structured videos with more thought out points and stuff coming soon. I've already filmed them, more outdoor videos. I know I've been shooting a lot of videos in my room. It's because I've been kind of withdrawing a little bit. Outside of going skating and maybe visiting one friend here and there, maybe once a week or something, I've been really just like isolating a little bit. It's not good. I'm trying to get out of it. Trying to get back involved in my program. It's tough. Man, I want to withdraw so bad from the world. I want to withdraw so bad. Just the stuff I go through, the things that's on my mind, the curses that I fight, traumas that I've been through. I want to withdraw so bad. I want to withdraw so bad, guys. I cannot say that any more seriously. So that's why a lot of videos have been shot in the room lately. Hopefully it's not too lowbrow for y'all. I know somebody commented that, like, oh, present yourself, blah, 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 better. It's like, dude, what do you want? Like, I'm broke, like, I'm not Mr. Beast, bro. I'm not going to have a full production situation. But I do got some videos coming up where I'm outside and, we got a little bit more structure to the video. And I'll get on some of that tomorrow. But yeah, this was just what was on my mind tonight. Thank y'all for watching. If you watched this far, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know when your peak was. If and like I said, we could hit another peak, sure. I'm just putting that out there. But let me know when your peak was. What was the peak of your life so far? Like, reminisce down in the comments. I love to read y'all's stories. And you can get into detail. I definitely could use just some positive stuff from your life, I guess, to fall asleep to. Because I'm going to be ruminating real hard before I go to sleep. I'm going to try to play the game a little bit. But I'm probably going to be, like, out of it while I'm playing. And usually I just get off if that happens. Because then I start, losing. And I don't like that. I get angry. I'm really not trying to break my controller again. I'm not trying to break another controller. I've done it too many times. So, we'll see. But yeah, drop it down in the comments just when your peak was. How that went. How that was. I'm interested to hear. So, thank y'all. And Mass out. Tough.